Okay, so today we're talking about something that not everyone does talk about, and that is how to grow on YouTube. So let's first talk about the one thing that we are all familiar with, the niche. I mean, a lot is said about this concept. People are like, just get going, you find your niche, and some people are like, don't do anything without finding your niche because you'll be wasting your time, and blah blah blah. So what's the right approach to this? So in this case, my advice won't be different from what you had, but then it will be a smart idea for you to do it. See, when it comes to this, always try to do what you love, because with passion you could push boundaries. And one myth I want to bust about the niche idea is that there is no perfect niche. I mean, you could just do anything and gain tons of views. For example, look at Sam Sloot. He's just a body fitness channel without even thumbnails, but he's gaining tons of views. So, what do we learn from this? Do what you love and the world will award you. And then, there is no such thing as competition on YouTube. I mean, YouTube has over 2 billion monthly users. And I don't think there's any one single creator that could just get all these people watch his content. So I mean, there is competition, but again the demand is so high. So what's the golden nugget from this? Is that competition shouldn't drive you away from your niche into something that you think is much more profitable, but rather not. So leaving that alone, let's talk about optimizing your channel. So what do I mean by this? In other words, I mean branding your channel for discovery. And remember, you are a small creator. You may need to stand out for the algorithm to notice you. But how do you even do this? The first step to YouTube success, without even looking at the niche, is that you have to be well branded. I mean, from the banner, description, and even your profile picture. And even one more myth I want to bust in this scenario is that your channel name has nothing to do with your views. I mean, you can have any name for your channel as long as it's appropriate, and then your channel will still grow. And always remember, use a simple name that anyone can remember. And even there's no better name other than your own name. So if you're having trouble with finding a name, you could just use your own name. It won't affect your brand in any way. So leaving that aside, we shall look at the T&T. So you could be wondering, what's the T&T? I mean, this is the title and thumbnail. And in this case, trust me, however good your idea or video could be, for as long as you don't have a title or a thumbnail, it will be a flop. And even some of the biggest creators on the platform like Mr. Beast, MKBHD, Mr. Who's the Boss, they always told us that they create their thumbnails and titles even before thinking or shooting that video. And the reason for this is that it gives you room for expansion and enough time to create a killer thumbnail, other than creating a thumbnail 2 minutes after you have uploaded a video. And if there's anything to invest in, these are the thumbnails and titles. And as well, remember never to use clickbaits, as this annoys the viewer and even they don't subscribe or even finish the vid, hence affecting your video retention, which is definitely a poor signal to the algorithm. Hence it won't promote your vid, and thus causing your vid to be a flop. Hope you get what I'm trying to bring home in this case. Well, do you have some advice on how you could create a good title and thumbnail? Here, I have the perfect answer. The thing is that when it comes to titles and thumbnails, this has to do with the human psychology. Always try to arouse as much curiosity as you can in your thumbnails and title. The only question you should ask yourself every time you create a thumbnail or title: does it arouse curiosity? If it doesn't, chances are high it won't perform well. This is because the human brain is wired in such a manner that it always wants to find out. So once you use something that arouses curiosity, people will be so optimistic to find out what is inside that jam. And the golden nugget here is that every time you create a thumbnail or title, ask yourself, does it arouse curiosity? If not, think of crafting another one. And as well, try to make as many titles as possible. For example, I personally make over 10 titles and like basically 5 thumbnails, and I just keep changing them after like 2 or 3 days depending on how the video is performing until I get what's perfect. So still more about the titles. Well, things have even been made easier these days. I mean, we have AI, so you can use ChatGPT, tell it to generate for your title and then modify it depending on your audience. I mean, personally, ChatGPT creates my titles, though I always modify them depending on my audience. Well, and you could as well think of using the AI tool in vidIQ. So what is vidIQ? So vidIQ is a channel that guides small creators like me and you on their journey to succeed on YouTube. And they have a tool which you could download today from Play Store, and trust me, this will help you 100 times more than what you even think. Because once you pay for the premium subscription, AI could always generate for you titles, and I mean very modified and amazing videos for your short. And then they also provide with you free courses that could help you step up with your YouTube journey. So I will link it down below in the description. I mean the tool. So with that put aside, so let's talk about the content itself. I mean, you've got a catchy thumbnail, a catchy title, and you've got this person to click into your video. So how do you even keep this person around? See, in this scenario, it's the first 30 seconds. I mean, that's even wrong because that's what most people say. But actually, it's the first 10 seconds to determine the fate of your video, whether it will be a flop or a success, even after having a killer thumbnail. The reason why I say it's the first 10 seconds is that not very many viewers will give you that chance to, stick around for over 30 seconds. Here there is a shot that could give them all they want in just 30 seconds. Okay, so leaving that aside, how do I keep the viewer watching my videos? I mean, this is easy. So what we have to do is to hook them. And we can do this in various ways. For example, we could hook them by posing a question in the beginning of the video, or we could hook them by showing them a glimpse of what they expect. And we could as well hook them through visuals. And what do I mean by this? For example, it's a talking head, or recording yourself talking. So in these situations, if you have like 3 or 2 cameras, you may need to cut in through camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3 in different intervals so that you don't get the viewer bored. And well, I know we are small creators, we don't really have the cameras, so how could I still hook them visually? I mean, if it's still a talking head, you could really zoom in into your face at the beginning of the video and then zoom out. You could always use this skill to capture people's attention by zooming to your face and zooming out, and even adding a few animations. So after doing that in the first 10 minutes, you may not have to do it for the rest of the video because you have now got the person to watch the video. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, you may need to go back at the beginning of this video and see how I did it. And the golden nugget here is that set an expectation and exceed it. And that's what creators like Mr. Beast do. They set an expectation and then even exceed it. For example, he could say in the title, giving out $10 to random strangers. And then in the video, he gives out the money, and then at the top of that, he also gives a stranger some other thing we didn't really expect. So you have to set an expectation to your audience, and even after setting the expectation, you may need to exceed it. And this will inevitably increase your retention, which is a good signal to the algorithm, and it will even promote your videos to even wider audiences. So with all that being said, let us embrace the elephant in the room. You have done all this, you have hooked up the audience, you have the best title, you have the best thumbnail, you have amazing branding, but you may still not succeed on YouTube with even all this. So what could be the one thing that still stops you from succeeding on the platform? See, even after having all what I've talked about, there is one thing that you may need to maintain, which is, you guessed right, consistency. I mean, even if you make the best videos on the platform, but you only make them once a year, I mean, you won't succeed. You have to show up for work every single day. And by this, I don't mean you should upload every single day, but always make sure to upload once or twice in 2 weeks. Because this could actually scale up your channel's momentum, and there's no any other way you could be discovered on YouTube other than through your uploads. So before you complain that no one is watching my videos, I'm getting less than 10 views, blah 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 blah. The thing here, and Mr. Beast once said this himself, make 100 videos before you complain of anything. Before you complain of people not subscribing, before you complain of people not watching, before you even complain of the algorithm hurting you, which is actually wrong. So to prove this, that the algorithm actually works, every time you upload a new video, wait for approximately a day regardless of what you uploaded, and go look at the impressions. You'll find that your impressions are even 10 times more than the views you have, meaning your algorithm is pushing out the vids to people as much as it could, but then these people aren't really watching, and then it kinda gives up on exposing it to even a broader audience. So the way to win here is that you have to impress the algorithm. By most of the people, it shows your videos watching them. And if in this case you find that you have impressions of like 1,000, you have like 1,000 impressions, but then you have even less than 20 views, then probably something is wrong. You need to go work and recraft your thumbnail and title, because that could be the one thing that is probably getting these people not to click your video. Let's as well briefly talk about optimizing the SEO. I mean, what do I mean by this? This is the search engine optimization, and most people think that going viral on YouTube or succeeding on YouTube is luck. I mean, no. I mean, you don't have to go naked to make it on YouTube. You just have to work smart, not hard. And well, let me guide you on how you could do this. I want you to imagine of a situation. Channel A and Channel B are both at 0 subscribers. Channel B makes 100 uploads to make its first 1 million views across the entire channel. And Channel A only makes 1 upload and it even makes like 2 million views. That's even more than what Channel B did, but yet Channel B even had to make like over 100 uploads, but Channel A only made 1 upload. So what does that mean here? Going viral is a skill, not chance. For example, look at the keywords on the topic you're talking about, and you could use these keywords to boost your views. And you're like, how do I even find the keywords? Well, this vidIQ tool that I told you I will link in the description does it all for you. All you have to do is to type your video idea, and it will bring a couple of keywords that you could add in your title, and well, the rest will be history. And so the last thing here, which we all know and which we all do, but probably wrongly, is telling people to subscribe. I mean, it's good to encourage someone to subscribe to your channel, but always remember, provide value first before you ask someone to subscribe, because I can't ask you to subscribe in the first 10 seconds. I mean, that is all wrong. In the first 10 seconds, we are trying to hook up this person to watch the whole vid, and now you're trying to tell this person to subscribe. And in other words, you don't even need to tell people to subscribe. Chances are high that if this video really impacted the person, they will subscribe. And even if they don't, you're still winning, because I've watched the video and now YouTube has noticed that, well, this person watched this vid, and then the next time you upload, chances are high that YouTube will recommend another video of yours to that very person, and then later they could subscribe. So I mean, in other words, subscribers don't even matter. They only matter when you are at that point where you need to be monetized and you need like 1k subs and even 500 subs. So that's when subscribers do matter. I mean, You could even make much more ad revenue than a person with a million subs, depending on your views, geographical location, and all things of such a kind. So don't rely so much on telling people to subscribe, because even when you tell them, they may not. So with all that being said, I wish you luck on your YouTube journey. And as you embark on your journey, remember that success takes time and may need more time to be perfect in what you do. So let it flow. For example, I personally have been doing YouTube since I was like 16 and I'm like 18, but then I'm still grinding. So basically you just have to trust the process and let the thing flow. And also try to learn as much as you can through the creator support channel, as this will help you even grow faster than what you estimate. So until next time, have a nice one. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all.